Hello everyone, welcome to another video for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. This is episode 50, Sahelanthropus, and this is the extreme variant. And this is the final mission in the game, and this is also another repeat of this same mission that we played earlier. And but this has the extreme variant onto it, and it really doesn't really add anything at all. There is a slight difficulty adjustment here, but I don't think it's really that big a deal, honestly. And I'm actually going to do a little bit different than I did the last time on this particular mission. The last time I actually used D-Walker with another upgraded rocket launcher. With this one, I'm actually using the sneaking suit with a different rocket launcher, and I don't even have D-Walker. I'm just going to destroy Sahelanthropus with just the rocket launcher here. And this is a risk. I'm doing this on extreme. So just like the last time, you're going to want to keep striking him with these rockets all around his torso area, and in those tanks that are on his back are also quite effective as well. But on this difficulty variant, you can get one-shotted. I've gotten one-shotted several times. But it's really not that big a deal. Like I was saying the last time on the mission before, I really think this is like the easiest Metal Gear in history. I found him to be not that hard of an opponent, really. But I definitely think he's one of the coolest looking Metal Gears, that's for sure. But like the last time, you want to keep your distance as much as possible because he has those machine guns. He also, as you'll see here in a minute, I'm actually going to get in this tank, which is actually an extremely bad idea because I really don't even get a chance to even hit him because he comes down here so close. I can't even get a good shot on him. And then I'm kind of disoriented, so I'm going to have to get away from here. And he is throwing everything at me. I don't even know where I'm at this point. I actually roll out of the vehicle, and as soon as I get back in this tank, he's going to come up on me again, and he's going to use that flamethrower on me, which that just completely destroys the tank. So I didn't even get a chance to do anything here. That flamethrower is nasty. So you got to keep an eye out for that. But unfortunately, this is the end of the game. This is the final mission that you have. And a lot of these missions at the end are a lot of repeat missions with different variants on them, with a few sprinkled in, spread it out story missions as well, which just makes the whole second half of this game just feel so stretched out with all this filler. And it really would have been better if they would have had an actual difficulty at the beginning of the game, like hard, extreme, Euro extreme, like in the previous Metal Gears. I think it would have went over a lot better, and they just should have put all the missions just in one go instead of spreading them out at the end. It just seems so weird. And it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, but even that being said, I still find this game, throughout this whole entire game, I had a blast with it. This is one of my favorite Metal Gears of all time. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I'd probably give it a 9 or a 9.5. For the simple fact that, it does have its problems. It does have a few bugs here and there. A lot of the scaling, you watch a lot of these videos, I complain religiously about the scaling in this game. when you try to go up a certain, like a rock, or just something so easy that anyone could get over by crawling, and he just makes it so difficult that you can't even scale it. So the scaling is terrible in this game. You know, and like I said, it's got some bugs here and there. I encountered some bugs that where I would freeze up, or the game would crash, or whatever. So, this game definitely has its problems, where I do believe that it really doesn't deserve a 10 out of 10. But it comes close. It really does come close. But because of those things, the bugs and the scaling issue in this game, the lack of story is another problem. I mean, there is a slight lack of story here. It really kind of takes the same premise from Peace Walker, where it has a lot of video, or a lot of actual cassette tapes, instead of actual Kodak calls like they used to do in the older Metal Gears. So this takes a lot of similarities from Peace Walker, where there is a ton of tapes. There is so much story in the actual cassette tapes that maybe a lot of people might miss if you don't really listen to the tapes. There's a lot of story there that could be possibly lost. And there's like some other filler tapes in there too that are just kind of stupid. But so even though it lacks on a lot of the actual traditional cutscenes, it's been scaled back. I think that maybe Kojima or whatever kind of tried to listen to a lot of the fans from the Metal Gear Solid 4, where that was just a movie. Is basically what that was. It was 80% cutscenes is what that was. I mean, there really wasn't hardly any gameplay at all in that game. And I really I liked MGS4. It was not my favorite, but a lot of people love it for that simple fact. But for me personally, I think it was it was too heavy on the cutscenes. There wasn't a nice blend. Where this one actually scaled it back a little bit too much, I think. So we get a lot more gameplay, but it's lacking story there. And it is kind of a gap fill, because this is basically the fill in for Big Boss. This is what takes place in that timeline, and after this, then we go on to Metal Gear 1 and 2 that were actually on the original Nintendo back in the day. So it kind of fills in that gap of what took place. And people are complaining that there actually is no ending. Well, I mean, there wouldn't be. I mean, this is actually like an in-between of like a trilogy, basically. This is kind of the middle part of the story in a way. I mean, you have MGS3, which was the beginning of Big Boss's story, and then you have Peace Walker, and now you have this here, which is kind of basically kind of like an ending, but it's still like a gap fill for Big Boss. So you have the Phantom Pain then after all that, and then you have Metal Gear 1 and 2 in the timeline, which kind of gives you some more gap fill there. But the real resolution to all this entire story is MGS4. I mean, a lot of the stuff in that explains everything in that game. A lot of the story, of course, at the end with Big Boss and Zero, and Eva explains a lot with the twins, with Liquid and Solid, and everything. So, I personally, like I said, I really enjoyed this game, and it's got its flaws, but I still think it's a great game. It really one of the best of the year. And but yeah, guys, we're coming down here towards the end of this. Just keep shooting the crap out of him with this rocket launcher, and that's it. We're done. But if you guys could give a like, I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.